So in the context of Christian hope, as defined in the Catechism, let us read again part of the lesson from 2 Peter, found in chapter 3, verses 10 through 14. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, and then the heavens will pass away with a loud noise, and the elements will be dissolved with fire, and the earth and everything that is done on it will be disclosed. Since all these things are to be dissolved in this way, what sort of persons ought you to be in leading lives of holiness and godliness, waiting for and hastening the coming of the day of God, because of which the heavens will be set ablaze and dissolved, and the elements will melt with fire? But in accordance with his promise, we wait for new heavens and a new earth where righteousness is at home. Therefore, beloved, while you are waiting for these things, strive to be found by him at peace, without spot or blemish. Well, here the author of the epistle, probably written toward the end of the first century, urges maintenance of the earlier Christian expectation of the second coming. He regards this continued observance as a sure safeguard against moral decay. And this is important because by the time we get to 100 AD, the expectation that the second coming was going to happen any day now had diminished. Consequently, moral backsliding was of great concern to the church. And so the lesson in 2 Peter begins to shift the moral focus from an immediate expectation of end times to an uncertainty of when it will come. And so the epistle reading illustrates the need for moral faithfulness with the explanation that the day of the Lord was going to come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. In other words, he's saying, okay, folks, maybe it's not coming tomorrow like we thought, but when it does, it'll be swift. Be prepared. More importantly, stay prepared. Now, the language used in 2 Peter is obviously this grand apocalyptic type language that we're used to seeing in the book of Daniel and the book of the Revelation of John. Not to be taken literally, but it's an attempt to describe the indescribable. So thinking about that apocalyptic language in 2 Peter, if you look at the world around us today, would you say that we're morally well prepared for the second coming? I would guess the answer to that would be probably not. And so if we're really unprepared, maybe we Christians should be spending all of our time in Advent preparing a warning for our neighbors about getting prepared for the second coming, for this thing that is going to come. Well, that might sound like a good idea, but there's a catch. And the catch is this. Given that 80% of our neighbors won't even try and get prepared for the next hurricane, it's highly doubtful that they will respond positively to a warning about something that's even more unpredictable than the timing of the next Category 3 storm. And so it may not really profit ourselves or our neighbors to preach the second coming if they and we have not really come to repentance, as the ministry of John the Baptist calls out to us this morning in the gospel lesson. And so if we are unsure of our repentance and our neighbors, maybe we should look again at the first coming, where we have the opportunity to embrace the baby Jesus in his true manifestation, Emmanuel, which means God with us. Because if we embrace the Jesus of the first coming in true humility and true repentance, we will become prepared for the second coming. And so, if we and our neighbors are going to prepare to meet the real Jesus of the first coming, the next question is, where will we meet the real Jesus? Again, is it going to be at the Edgewater Mall when Santa comes and jumps out of a helicopter? Is it going to be in the Walmart parking lot where Santa listlessly rings a bell seeking donations for the Salvation Army? Where is it that we might go to meet true baby Jesus, the Emmanuel? Well, actually, we heard the answer to that question a couple of weeks ago when Father Jeremy preached on a gospel lesson from Matthew. Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink?